Yeah, I think we're definitely gaining confidence as the games go. That's definitely our goal as a defense, just get better every single week. But especially after these last couple of games, I feel like we really started gelling, and we've really been in sync as to the game plan and what we need to do to take that next step as a team, especially as a defense. So I feel like we're definitely gaining or regaining that confidence, just especially after these last couple of games and how we've been playing and creating turnovers and just affecting the teams that we play. But yeah, I would say we're definitely getting better as a defense.
Did you feel like?
I think it took that Florida State game to get your guys' full attention and sort of that moment to really bring everything together?
I wouldn't say that specific game really did it. I think we've known what we've been capable of. It's been on us as players and to really just put it together and execute whatever play call that coach calls. So I don't think that game really sparked anything. But I think we've always known what we're capable of as a defense, and it's really just starting to come to fruition what we can do and the limits that we can achieve.
Trevor Groves, CUTigers.com. How much did that hit by Justin kind of set the tone on Saturday?
Oh yeah. Whenever you make a hit like that, especially forcing a fumble, that's always gonna spark a lot of momentum for your team. And so that was exciting, especially on like the third or fourth play or whatever it was. Just to create a turnover that early in the game, especially it being an away game as well. That was huge for us as a team. But we just got to keep building on that. Hopefully we make more plays like that coming up this weekend and the weeks following.
What do you remember about last year's game with Wake Forest? What do you think about it?
Yeah, defensively that was not a good game for us. I would say I think that was probably one of our worst that we played last year. So we have to just rewatch that film and see what we did wrong as a defense, as a team, and just not make those same mistakes this Saturday against them, because Wake Forest, they're a well-coached team. They have a lot of good players, so we can't allow them to gain any momentum and anything like that. So we just have to correct the mistakes from last year and just play Clemson defense. We should be fine.
How much did y'all grow from that game?
I think we grew a lot, and I think for us, we had a lot of young guys that had to play in that game, so that gave them some really good experience and really taught them what level it takes to play at a high level. So I think we learned a lot from that game, watching the film.
How much of it?
You've watched on them so far from this season. Just how different are they now that they have a different quarterback, and how do you guys have to prepare a little bit differently?
Yeah. They're not much different. Obviously, Sam Hartman and their quarterback now, two different players, two different guys. But it's not much. Really, not much has changed from last year. As long as we do what we're capable of doing, as long as we execute the play calls that are called, we should be fine going into this weekend. But it's not much that has changed from last year going into this year. So as long as we execute, we should be fine.
How much does that slow mesh? How much of a challenge does that present for you and the linebackers?
Yeah, it definitely requires a lot of patience, just because you never know if he's going to hand it off or if he's going to pull it and throw it. So it's definitely going to take a lot of eye discipline as well. But the main thing with that is just staying patient and just reading it and just reading our keys, and if he does hand it off, fitting our gap, and if he does throw it, just being where we're supposed to be on that. But it requires a lot of patience and eye discipline.
Barrett, you guys are back at home. Don't have a lot of opportunities to play at home in this coming month. And your last trip out was a loss. What's it like to sit on a loss at home, and how hungry are you guys to rectify that and get a win?
Yeah, it's definitely disappointing. You never want to lose a game, but especially losing at home. So we're just looking forward to the opportunity just to get back out there in front of our fans and getting us a win getting us a win in the win column. So it's definitely disappointing that whenever you lose a game, especially being at home. But we're just looking forward to just going out Saturday and just playing, having fun, and just playing free at the end of the day. So hopefully we end up with a win, but we just gotta dominate and just do what we're capable of doing.
You had a sack in a TFL up at Syracuse. How much pride do you take in the fact holding a quarterback like Schrader to 1.6 yards a carry and being able to sack him 5 times?
Yeah, that was huge in our game plan going into the game, just because Schrader, he's such a such a dynamic player. He can hurt you with his arm and his leg. So that was really an emphasis for us, just affect him. And I think we did a pretty good job of that. Of course, we still left a lot on the field. There's more plays to be made, but just whenever there's a play out there for me to be made, I'm gonna always try to make the most of that opportunity. So I'm just glad that I could help us get the win and whatever that looked like for me, the sack, the tackles, whatever it was. But I'm just glad that we got the win. Just that I got to make those plays for the team.
Barrett, as someone who had success as a freshman when you arrived, seeing what TJ Parker is doing right now, what goes into being able to hit the ground running and have an impact right away as a freshman?
Yeah, I think it all starts with preparation. Just TJ, he empties the tank every single day in practice, and he's been that way since the day that he stepped on campus. You could tell from the first day that he was just different. He was just wired differently, and he was going to be ready to play very soon, obviously. But TJ, he's just been a grinder ever since he's got here. So now that I'm seeing him make all these plays, it's nothing surprising. I think anyone in the building would say the same thing. Just the way that he prepares day to day, and puts in extra work, and how we worked out in workouts and everything like that. It all ties in. So no one's surprised from TJ. He's gonna be a stud. He is a stud already, but I'm super proud of him, just especially being a young guy coming in and making all these plays. So it's been great to see.
Coach Swinney has said that you could play any position on the field. If you weren't a linebacker, which position would you like to play?
Running back.
Why is that?
I think that's my natural position. When I first moved to linebacker, my sophomore year of high school, I was so mad. I wanted to quit football, and because I've been a running back and receiver my whole life. So the day I got switched, I was so mad, and because I was always bigger than everybody, so they just put me at running back and gave me the ball every play. But I'll probably say running back.
Having that experience, do you feel like that gives you some good insight into defending running backs?
Yeah, for sure. It gives me a lot of insight just because I know how running backs think, especially when they have a defender approaching them, and especially in pass pro. I've never really heard of a running back who enjoys blocking a full speed blitzing linebacker. So I just kind of always keep that in the back of my head whenever I'm blitzing or whenever I'm about to make a tackle. Just kind of know what to expect maybe.
Why did they switch to the linebacker?
So we had a linebacker who he played baseball and football, but he decided to go baseball full time. So that they had a spot open up at linebacker, and they saw me as that guy who could play it. So they switched me to linebacker, and thankfully I got my first offer the next day or something. So it was just crazy how it all worked out. But yeah, that's how they switched me to linebacker.
Has there been any difference to having Coach Khan on the sideline compared to up in the booth, just from the overall defense?
Yeah, I think the only difference is just all of our coaches bring energy, but having an extra coach like Coach Khan down there it just brings even more energy, because Coach Khan, he's gonna be excited. He's gonna, whenever someone makes a play, he's gonna be jumping around and screaming and yelling with us. So I just think it just brings more energy, and it just helps us as players, just because you always want to bring energy and all that. But I think Coach Khan just really helps with that, just because he's a really high energy guy, and so he keeps that energy up with us.
You said you were kind of mad when they moved you to linebacker originally. Just when did you kind of accept linebacker as your new position and start to kind of enjoy it more?
The next day after I got
What
my
do you
offer. Yeah, obviously when you're in high school, you always dream about getting scholarships, and it was actually freshman year, spring, going into sophomore year. I didn't have any offers, and then I got the first offer the next day. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll just stick with it. But I would say that's when it all really came together for me, that I could play linebacker.
Barrett, can you talk a little bit about Trot and the game-sealing pick? Vafa's run ended up being the game sealer, but how much of a 10-point game at that point? Syracuse had gotten the ball back after the offense had stalled out a couple of drives. How big of a lift was it to see your guy Trot get that pick?
Yeah, it was huge, especially since early in the game he had drops and interception. When he came to the sideline, he was so mad about it. He even did push-ups on the sideline. And I don't know if y'all saw that, but he knocked out 10 push-ups. That's our thing on defense whenever you drop something. But that was huge for us. That really it was essentially the dagger for the game. But that was huge. We preach, getting those picks in practice, and because when it comes to game time, you can't mess that up. So, that was a huge play for us, just to really seal the game and seal the victory.
during the season? Do you get to go in and read to elementary school children?
Yeah, so I'm actually going next week, I think. I forgot the name of the school, but I think I'm going on Monday to go read to another class. So that'll be the first time this year. Hopefully I get to do a couple more. Of course, the season gets really busy, so, but I'm definitely gonna try to make time for that as much as I can. But yeah, I'll be there. I'll be going next week.
Why do you do that?
I just remember I was that little kid who always looked up to, football players, and, I always told myself, like, once I get to this position, like, I have no choice but to give back, just because I remember when I was in that position. So that's really all it is for me, just, thinking about the younger version of Barrett Carter.
And another organization you get back to, Christopher Miles.
Mhm.
What do you remember about Christopher, and why is it important for you to kind of help out and keep his memory alive?
Yeah, so what I remember most about Christopher, aside from us being teammates in high school, when I was in like 5th grade, I played with his younger brother Joshua, and Chris was always like at our practices helping us out, and just he never did his own thing. He was always with us, helping out in any way that he could. So I think that's just a testimony to his character and how he was as a person, just always just willing to give back, and especially to the sport that he loved to play, and his younger brothers essentially. So he was always wanting to give back and just pour his knowledge into the younger kids.
And now what is it about you that you want to do all of this service? Because it says, in your bio, you want to open up a training center for young athletes to teach them about life and sports. Where did I want to serve the community, where did that come from?
I've always been that way. I don't know what it is. I think it all starts with my parents. They've always instilled, being humble and giving back to those, and just always giving back. That was just always a thing for us. We always went in, whenever we had extra stuff, I know this is something simple, we would always give it away. And that's just something so simple, but that's just always been instilled in our family. So I think it just really starts with my parents. They've always taught my sister and I just to give back, and that's knowledge, that's physical tools that I could maybe preach to a younger kid, just anything that it may be, just always give back and spread the wealth essentially. So I think it all just starts with my parents.
What you're wanting to do, is it something like the Paw Journey here, but maybe adding sports training to it, or what do you envision your place being like?
Yeah, so I want to have a huge facility and just have it just be so it's just random really. Just I want to train kids, I want to host tournaments, and I also just want to do fundraising stuff and just give away to different programs. So there's the Boys and Girls Club or our friend Christopher, just whatever it may be, just anything that I'll be in a position to give back. So any way that I can, that's just what I want to do in life. And it's so much bigger than me what it is. So that's just what I want to do in life. Be in a position to give back and just give the knowledge that was instilled in me, just to give that to younger kids who may not have the opportunities that other kids have.
Can you talk a little more about our friend Christopher and how you've been able to collaborate with some of the men's basketball players to uplift the Swanee community, doing a bunch of fundraisers and stuff along those lines?
Yeah, our friend Christopher, just the fact that I get to work with such a special program such as our friend Christopher, it means the world to me, especially Christopher being one of my former teammates, a big brother to me, and just someone that I look up to still to this day. It just means the world. And we have those guys on the basketball team who are they're doing the same thing, and they're just they have the same goal as me, just to give back and continue to carry Christopher Miles' legacy. And I think that's just the big thing for us, just continue to carry his legacy, because Christopher is always one who gave back, and that's just what we're trying to do, and keep that going and keep his legacy going.
Any questions virtually for Barrett?
Hey Barrett, this is Cliff from Clemson Sports Media. Earlier today, Dabo talked about best standard and quest for the best. What does that mean to you personally?
Yeah, for me, that means just winning the day, taking it one day at a time. You get so overwhelmed sometimes. You always want to look forward to maybe what's to come in the next coming weeks or tomorrow even. So I think for me, that's just winning the day and you know, giving your all every single day. And I think if you do that every single day and only worrying about, you know, where your feet are, you'll have won the day and you'll be on a quest for best. And you know, eventually best will be the standard. And so I think that's just what it means to me, just winning the day every single day.